Welcome to Tahu Talks, where we dive into the deep tapestry of Ngāi Tahu stories. In this episode, I'll be having a chat with my cousin Terangiparutini Tipa. Born and raised in the heart of the east of Christchurch, Terangi's journey is as inspiring as it is diverse. He began his career as a concrete worker, a role that grounded him in hard work and determination. However, driven by a desire to support others on a deeper level, he transitioned into mental health support work, where he now dedicates his efforts to improving lives and fostering resilience within the community. In this episode, we'll delve into his personal experiences and the transformative path that led him to his current role. We'll also explore the unique dynamics of being a young grandfather, the lessons he's learned from his family, and how these experiences shape his approach to life and work.
I remember you when I was little, hanging out in town and stuff. And you'd be like, "What are you doing here? Does your uncle know you're here?" and stuff. And I'm like, "Who is that guy?" And yes, he does, when he didn't. But you've always been real supportive of me as well. You've showed up for me, like birthdays, when I got my moko kauai done. You've just always been there. Like, you're like Kylie Jane. When I call on you and her, you always show up. So thanks for showing up again, cousin. So, let's get into it. Did you bring your diving gears? Because we're going deep today, cousin.
Swim, you reckon?
Nah. Tell me about your upbringing. Born and raised in Christchurch?
Yeah, I was born in Christchurch. My dad is Neville Mertens, a Pākehā fella from Timaru. He was older than Mum. I think Mum was 17 and he was maybe 23-ish. Mum fell pregnant. Uncle Pat, Nan, made Uncle Pat step my real father out.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, hard. Like actual, fully.
Yeah.
And Uncle Pat stepped him out, obviously, because Mum said. And then he moved to Aussie, and I didn't see him again until I was 26.
Wow.
Mum was 17. I'm 40 now.
Yeah.
Mum was 17. Nan wanted Mum to go back to school, so Nan took me.
Yeah.
Standard though.
Yeah.
Yeah, standard. So Nan and Paul took me, and I lived on Lyndhurst Crescent, Aranui.
Yeah.
And Mum lived with us, and then I think maybe when I was about 12, I went, maybe a bit younger, maybe about 10, I went back with her for a bit, but just back and forth from Nan's and Mum's. But I lived with Nan and Paul my whole life, as usually the first chosen moko does, the chosen one, so
Yeah.
Auntie Tawhai says.
So you're the oldest moko of how many?
We haven't got a lot. I think there's maybe not as much as most whānaus, but I think Mum's only got 4 siblings.
Yeah.
So, and then I think maybe there might be
12?
12, 15-ish max. I'm not going to try to count
Yeah.
right now, but yeah. It's not as much as most anyway.
No, it's still quite a lot.
Yeah, it's still quite a lot. Yeah. But you got like the Hodges.
Yeah.
Fella's got too much.
So what was it like kind of being the chosen one, the one raised by Nan and Poa? Were you treated, a little bit differently?
A little bit's an understatement. I got away with pretty much anything.
Yeah.
I went everywhere with them, all my tawas, like my other tawas, like the likes of Auntie Tawhia, Nani Hini, they would be surprised if I wasn't under Nan's dress.
Yeah.
Whenever they went, wherever,
Yeah.
Halsey, Hakas, whatever, because back then I think Mum was with Pounamu, Ngā Tahu. So, and Poa, and they were all there actually, so. But so or they wouldn't be surprised if I wasn't there. So I was there. But like even when in my later age, when I started becoming a bit mischief and got myself into some trouble, like, you know, even the simplest things is like someone would say, I've done this, I've stolen something from the shop. No, he hasn't.
Oh, yeah.
My Moko wouldn't do that. Halo above his head, you know. So it was, I got away with anything, but I didn't really try use it too much to my advantage. But of course, knowing that you could get away with anything, you would use it slightly, wouldn't you?
Yeah. What are your Paua and Nan's names?
Nan's was, everyone knew her as Judy, but she's Te Watorangi Pi Kātini. And everyone knew my koro as Daki or Joe, but he was Puneke Tipa.
Oh, yeah. And where do those two whakapapa to?
Nan was from Taranaki. So Taranaki was her, I think, her papa, and her mama was from along the Wanganui River. We've got a little marae, Otoko, along the Wanganui River, where her mama's from, and that's where I'm pretty sure her mum's buried and a few of her sisters.
Oh, yeah.
They sort of spread around both maraes. And then Paua is Moeraki. He is Moeraki.
Yeah. Did you spend a lot of time in Moeraki growing up?
As a young child, it was a lot of back and forth there.
Yeah.
As I got older, like I said, I was become a bit mischief. So I sort of done whatever I done.
Yeah.
Hung around the streets of Aranui.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like it was, we'd spent a lot there at the homestead. Our homestead is next door to the marae.
True.
And that's where Justin lives now.
Oh, true. Cool.
Yeah, so that's, I'm pretty sure that's our OG homestead.
Yeah.
And then Uncle Pat has brought land across the road from the marae.
Who's this Uncle Pat?
He's Nan and Paua's only male child.
Oh, okay.
Mum's older brother.
What is Moeraki known as, or known for, cousin?
Boulders.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Kaihinaki. It's just a beautiful, cold though, but beautiful place. Like almost, I don't know, maybe a valley almost, sort of structurally. It's very cold in winter.
Oh, yeah.
So I try to avoid going down there in winter. I haven't been down there. I think I've been down there once this year. I try to get down there at least once a year, just because that's where Paua decided he wanted to get buried down there. Originally, he was going to get buried here, and then he decided he wanted to get buried down there, so we'd go visit more.
Yeah.
Which was like played the trump card. So now we have to go down. So I try to get down there at least once a year, but whenever I go down there, I'm just a mess.
Oh, yeah.
Just moke and just,
Yeah, because how long has it been since your Nan and Paua passed?
Maybe 6 years,
Yeah.
maybe.
What was it like dealing with the grief of losing your Nan and your Paua?
It was tough.
You're basically your world.
Yeah, it was tough. That was real tough. It was like quite fast. Like she was sick, went to hospital. You know, I just don't trust doctors. Like they told her, you know, that she'd be fine. She went to hospital. They put her in a ward with someone that had a cold, and she caught pneumonia and died. She went in there because she had lung disease, but she died of pneumonia. Like sort it out. And my auntie Sarah actually, once she heard the person coughing, she said, "I want my mother out of this," and put into it. But it was too late. She was already crook. You know, it was hard. It was real hard. My nan was my world.
Yeah.
My koro was my best friend, but my nan was like, you know.
What kind of wahine was your Nan?
Staunch. But like, it was hard. Like I never thought my nan was anything but an angel.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I remember this one time when I was a kid, and because they always, firewood was a big thing back in the days. We had open fire. So I was walking home from primary school one day and there was this broken fence. This lady's broken fence, and I ripped the rest of her palings off. And I took them home.
Yeah.
And I was like, Paul, look, got some kindling. And he was like, cool. And then I went back the next day, because he's like, good on you. I went back the next day and ripped some more down. Well, she caught me the second time and slapped me.
Oh.
And so I went home and told Nan. Nan just went and like raised up. Like fully raised up on her. Slapped her up and said, don't you ever touch my moko, I will be back,
Yeah.
So like she was a hard lady, but still like just the biggest aroha,
Yeah.
biggest manawa, just loved all her mokos. When she was passing, we had to sort of, I couldn't even deal with that, but letting her go, but like, I still haven't fully let her go yet. But like, she wouldn't let go of herself and let herself go and kept on putting herself through the pain because she didn't want to leave her kids and her grandkids.
Yeah.
She was worried about how mum would be, worried about how, how I would be. So she wouldn't let go, and then, mum and Auntie Sarah and them sort of had to say, you gotta let go, mum.
Yeah.
You're, it's your time, you're sick. So yeah, she was a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Could never do it wrong in my eyes.
Yeah. And your poa, what was he like?
He was, because he got, like I said before to you, cousin, like, Māori got decolonised out of my koro. Oh. He, it was around the area where the whole strap in primary schools, and so he wasn't good with his reo. But he knew what he was, he knew his bits and pieces. And as he grew older, he realised that, it wasn't a bad thing to do.
Cool.
But, in his upbringing, I don't think it was good for him. And like a lot of his sisters and stuff and siblings, they're the same. Our generation's taken it back.
Yeah.
We're fighting for it back. But he was a hard man, like, but like he that's what I mean by he was my best friend. Like he took me everywhere. Yeah. Like my nan, I was with my nan everywhere, but like picking puha, picking watercress, eeling, hunting, where to find pippies, like what mussels to sizes, and then he had his drunken mates that would be along the side with him, my Uncle Vic, my Uncle Raymond, my Uncle Bill, they were all like, there's these four little, sometimes, living with Nan and Pa was some funny things. Quite often Pa would be, go sneak down to the Harringtons and buy me a flagon. I was like, Nan said you're not allowed. He's like, just go sneak me one. I would sneak down and buy him one, and then like Nan would be like, where's your grandfather? And I'd go to look for him, and he's fallen asleep in the shed. So he's got this carport, and then off the carport was this little shed, and he'd sneak into there so he could drink piss. It was tiny. And he'd sit naked there so he could drink piss. And then just fall asleep. Walk up there, and he's like, Power, Nan's looking for you. And he's just like, oh. I'm like, sort it out. Hey, sort yourself out. Because you got to go inside and face the music. Yeah. She going to raise up. You told me you were drinking piss today. But I mean, like, wasn't an alcoholic, but he drank his beer every day. Yeah. That was him, a flagon every day.
Their generation, eh?
Yeah, it was their generation.
Yeah.
It was a generation. He wasn't an alcoholic because he could go without it if he wanted to, but he just didn't. He worked his ass off for his life, on all these different heavy-duty jobs.
Hard-working generation, eh?
Yeah, way harder than we'd ever know.
Worked hard, played hard.
100%.
So, did you grow up with the reo? No.
Went to Kohanga, ko Taitanga, and I went to the one at Terangiparutini.
Oh my God, did you?
Yeah.
True. Didn't even know they had a kohanga there.
Yeah, so it was, you go right around the back. It was when Auntie Rama and them used to live at the back, the Brennans.
What's Terangiparutini for those that don't know what Terangiparutini is?
It was our church. It was our church growing up. So I am a Catholic, baptised Catholic. Who was our priest back then? I think it was Pa BJ.
Yes, Pa BJ.
It was a,
Yeah.
and then Pa Waiwai.
Part of that church too.
Yeah. So and there was a little. You go around the back and downstairs underneath the kitchen. There was like a little kohanga there.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
My reo was beautiful as a child.
Yeah.
I think, and so I think maybe up until I went to kindergarten at on Portsmouth Street.
Oh, yeah.
And then went to Aranui, and that's sort of just where I lost it. I went to Aranui Primary, and I was in the whānau class, so I mean, like, I still had my reo, but it just sort of got to the point where I just wasn't using it enough, I guess. And I could still, like, I'm still very good with my te reo. I mean, like, my father figure is tūhoi. He doesn't really talk English to us.
Yeah, mean.
I can fully understand anything he says to me.
Mean.
But my replying is where I get a bit whakama.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, like, I'm on the hikoi, taking it back.
When did you decide, right, I'm actually gonna like fully commit myself to my reo? And where did you go for that?
It was 8 years ago. I did level 2 at Te Wānanga. And I did it with one of my old friends who I went to primary school with, which is quite funny. Finesi.
Oh, yeah.
She's Samoan, but has probably the beautiful reo. One, you know, she can speak beautiful reo.
Sure.
So I started my level 2s with her, level 2s and 3, which was very basic, but it was good to just, you know. I'm probably a lot better than I make out. Yeah. And I'm doing level 4 at the moment, 3-hour classes at Wānanga o Te Reo, level 4. And my tutor this year is Morey. Peruini.
Yeah.
Morey. Wha Morey. Yeah.
Fun. What made you decide to like fully commit to your reo?
Got my matura. I wanted to do it proud. Stand tika. Like, and I could not give two flying whatevers what people say.
Yeah.
That's water off a duck's bum to me.
Yeah.
But like, for my own self, I want to be able to, and I can hold a conversation, and I can understand, sweet as. Yeah. But like, I'm never one of those people that want to sit on the pipeline, because I'm not a mana-muncher like that.
Yeah.
I'm a ringawera. You'll catch me in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I don't like, dishwashers all day.
Yeah.
My cousin Kylie Jane. Yeah, it was just a hikoi I wanted to do. But I've come to realise that I really hate aramatuais.
Oh, yeah. I
just don't see why I have to do. I know I do see why. I mean, I understand that it's government, but those are the pricks that decolonised us and took our stole our reo off us, and now we have to do these tests for them to get it back. Like, spirit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been my hikoi with te reo. Cool. I've been accepted to do level 5 next year.
Mean.
But like I said, aramatu-wise, driving mental.
Yeah. And anyone else in your whānau speak?
All of my whānau can speak reo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like all of them can. When I was 12, Mum met this tall, dark, curly, blonde-haired tūhoi terrorist. And he himself didn't learn how to speak English till he was like 10.
Cool.
Yeah. Born and bred in the Uruweras, had a very, very colourful upbringing.
Yeah.
Has always been a really, really amazing father figure in Karaua and to our whānau. So my little brother Legion, he went whakapuma, and like the old man just did not speak a word of English to Legion. Yeah. So he Legion actually got it pretty, on that side of it, he got it pretty good. Cool. Then, my sister Lani, she's a kaiako at our kohanga. Yeah. Then we've got Tuekau and Hotumano, who are both little terrorists themselves. To be honest, probably the old man's. Oh no, I mean Hene's beautiful with it. I mean Rigby and Moko maybe not so much, but they live in Australia. Everyone's on their hikoi. Yeah, cool. Rigby, I went and seen him not so long ago. He wants it back too. Me. So he's just got to find somewhere in Aussie that'll give it back to him. Yeah. Let's
talk about your mataora journey. Why did you decide it was time to receive?
I don't know. Maybe about 8 years ago. and I had dreamt about having my matsuru. But it was not like this. It was just chin and going up to my ears, nose. So it was sort of how I had my bottom part before I got the rest done. And I dreamt about it. And that day I dreamt about it, I woke up. It was like 4 a.m, and I woke up sort of, whoa, that was pretty real. I went to the toilet, went into the bathroom, washed my face, and looked into the mirror, and it was there.
True.
So I was sort of like blurry-eyed, wiped my eyes out, and then sort of come like, you know, and it was gone. So I was like, oh wow. Yeah. And I rang up Mum.
He tohu.
Yeah, hara. And I rang up Mum. This was like early hours. I was like, Mum, yo, like having these dreams, and she's like, oh good. And then I told Nan, and Nan was like, if you ever get your face tattooed while I'm alive, I will take it off with a cheese grater.
True.
Wow. And that was just because of the stigma around it, as there to, like, you know, none of my Nan's era or my kuro's era had moko kanohi.
Right.
Because it wasn't accepted back then, like, you know, they couldn't even talk to them without getting strapped.
Right.
So, yeah, so that was why Nan was still alive. Then probably about a year or so after, maybe a year or so after she died, I had another dream. And it was way more vivid, and I got the hot sweats from it. Woke up like a real sweaty mess, like, and in my dream I'd seen that same one that I seen in the mirror.
Yeah.
And I rang Mum again. She's like, well, just, you know, maybe you're ready, son. Like, start tying up. And I said, well, tell the old man about it and see what he says. And he was like, that's definitely a tohu. Your true form wants to come out.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, cool, you know. But this was 6 years ago, you know. I only got it 2.5 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So I still, and because my whakaaro is, I can't get mine done before, especially if my parents are planning on getting it, I can't get mine done before them.
Yeah.
Mum actually never said she'd ever get it done.
Oh, yeah.
She can't handle pain, so she's like, I don't want this. I don't want this. I'm not about this life. The old man always wanted his done, and he looks tough with his done.
Yeah, he does.
It's tough. So one day they were like, we you know, and I'd been like badgering them, like, come on, man, like, let's do this. I'm sick of this fucking around, you know. I've been seeing this for ages. One day they rang me and they were just like, yo, we're sort of, Mum was like, I'm going to get it. I was like, whoa, cool. Okay, cool. You know, when? You know, like, I've only been waiting for like 3 years. When are we doing this? Yeah. And she's like, we actually broke. And I was like, oh, sweet. Let's not even worry about that. Like, I'll pay for that. Sweet. Like, as long as we can get this show on the road, I'll pay for the lot. You know? Prior to that, Auntie Maria and Auntie Marianne had just got their kauais done. Yeah. And that was from Christine Harvey. Yeah. And Mum wanted to get it done from Christine. Yes. So that was cool, because then Auntie Sarah got hers as well from Christine. Cool. Auntie Maria got hers done with a uhi, which was quite crazy, because you got Auntie Marianne got hers done, the next day Auntie Maria got hers done. Wow. And it went from a 45-minute sitting for half an hour to 45 for Auntie Marianne's to 3 hours.
For 3 hours.
Tap. So, but Auntie needed to get it done that way. She had her reasons why she needed to get it done that way.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fierce.
Yeah, fierce. And then so we started our planning and getting everything, you know, crossing the T's, dotting the I's. We booked a weekend where Mum could get hers, and then directly the day after, the old man could go get his.
Cool. And
then once the old man got his, funny story. Mum got hers done. Sweet as all the whānau come. Next day we went to Uncle Ricky Manuel. Yeah. Just for no one that knows, Master Carver, the man, the best. We went there, and we'd pre-booked him to do the old man's, because they're old school mates from way back, the Hakas and whatever, you know. And he'd done a lot of my moko on my arms and my puhoro.
True.
Wild had done it, but
cool.
Ki te tau, you know, So Uncle done the bottom part of the old man.
Oh yeah.
The old man was like, the only way I'm gonna we sat and hooed with with Uncle Rick, and he was like, you know, bro, the only way I'm gonna do this if we don't want hit. And Uncle Rick was like, ugh, you know, you're 60, bro. I don't know if you're going to sit through it. He's like, I sat through 18 hours on my back with a boob gun. He's like, no, I don't know. You're 60 years old now. But the old man's like staunch. Tell you what, he sat through maybe 6.5 hours of his face without blinking an eye.
Jesus.
And the only reason we actually stopped was because power cut on the street. So it was quite funny. He had that much done, and then like a couple of lines done here of outline, and then the power cut. And he just looked down.
That's all like, nah, that's enough.
Tohu.
Yeah.
And once that happened, Uncle Rick was the old man looked at him. He was like, "Bro, I'm coming back tomorrow. Cancel whatever you got tomorrow, bro, because I'm coming back tomorrow." Which is like, if you ever had a moko, it's raw.
Yeah.
You know, once you get that first part done, it's raw.
Yeah.
So him having like a couple of outlines done, and then Uncle having to go straight to those outlines and fill them in, raw, would have been painful.
Yeah.
But the old man literally getting his teeth done, fell asleep. You could hear him snoring. Just too tough. Yeah. Too tough. So he got it done in 2 sessions, which he didn't want. He wanted it in 1 session. And then the week after that, I went and done mine, sat and got my bottom half, which I was like, ooh. It was actually not too bad. Lips were sore, nose was sore. Yeah. But yeah, I got a few lines on my lips.
Did you like, when you were lying on the table, did you like go anywhere? Because I remember when I got my moko kauai, as soon as I closed my eyes, I went back to my homestead and I was sitting there with my toa in our backyard just having a kōrero.
I was floating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was floating. I actually felt like I was floating a bit above myself. And all I thought about, because I had during the whole time, I got a couple of photos of Manana and Paul that sit in my sun visor in my car, and they just always with me and they always protect me. Yeah. So like I just had them sort of in my hand while I was, and Hora was sort of there with me, and Mum was there. Like it was very, very, like, I think there's only 5 people there. It took me a very long time before I even put any photos up of it, because I wasn't like, it's mine. Yeah. You know, I wasn't about trying to show pony it around too much. My cousin Aoraki came, but like the mum, the old man, my siblings. Yeah, it wasn't, and then a couple of mates in Aoraki, but there wasn't much. Yeah. I kept it quite in house. Yeah. Cool. Because that's my hikoi, and that's how I just wanted it done. But yeah, I was on. It was on. It was a cool experience.
And like when you first sat up, full face done, because did you get this bottom half done first? Half done. And then how long did you wait to get your eye done?
I think it was maybe like 8 months. And the only reason, because I wasn't going to get it done. In my dream, I only seen the bottom. Oh, yeah. So I was going by my dream. Yeah. But I had this Tuhua terrorist in my ear saying, it's not finished. It's not finished. You're a pussy. It's not finished. Like, bro, get a grip. Just because you sat through, 6 hours one hit, and probably would have sat through the whole thing if you could have. Yeah. But yeah, like it went on for a good 6 months. Oh, yeah. So like after that, I just rang Uncle and I was like, right, let's have a little tutue, see how how it looks, and then he done the tifana. Then just had a couple of lines to tidy up. Oh yeah. And it was done. I never had planned on having a full face.
Honestly, when I first saw you, cousin, when you just had the bottom half done, I mean, you're already handsome, but I thought you looked so much more handsome, Like, it just looks like it's been there the whole time.
But that's like a lot of whānau, like even you, like a lot of my whānau, like, and it's really rude sometimes, because sometimes, you see someone that's got it and you're just like, and I've only just had it done, and you're just like, and then you're like, oh, congratulations, by the way. Yeah. I didn't actually,
Yeah.
It just looks like it's been there forever, so.
The same happened with our receptionist lady out there in Ngāreta. Yeah. I rocked up to work one day and she had her moko kauai, and I was like, has she had that the whole time, or is that new? I can't remember. And then I had to come in here and ask the crew, I was like, didn't I just get her moko kauai? Has it been there the whole time? Like, I'm a bit confused. And they're like, no, she just got it. And I was like, oh, okay, because I was like, I thought it was just there the whole time, you know?
It just means it's meant to be, eh?
Yeah. A lot of people think, you know, they have to have their reo, they have to do this and that and achieve this and that before they even get moko kanohi. What's your whakaaro around that?
I asked the old man and the old lady, and they were like, yeah, hard out, like, sweet as, you know? So my thing is, if your loved ones say you're ready for it, then who is anyone else to judge you? And I'd love to see anyone say that to the old man. Like, you know. I'd love to see anyone try to tell Kifa Williams that his son isn't allowed his matora, or his daughter isn't allowed to kauai. I'd love to. Tell you what, there'll be some colourful words coming in their way. Especially if he's accepted it, you know.
And what's the reactions been like?
It's quite funny because, you know, you'll get these little old, like, foreigners, like English, Irish, that I've had a couple of times, and like it just shows to me that I needed to be a bit more open-minded in my thought. Like, I had this old lady at Pack and Save one day, and I'm walking through doing shopping, and I see her looking at me, I was like, oh, here we go, sort of thing. Automatically think, here we go. She comes up to me, grabs my arm, and I was like, are you right? And she's like, I just wanted to come up and tell you, you look so beautiful, handsome. I'm so proud of you. And I was like, oh, thank you, Tawa. Proud of you too. And then and that sort of like, and I thought to myself, I was like, oh, geez, like I judged her.
Yeah.
And I like, you know, I didn't want people to judge me for having my matora without knowing my hikoi. But then I went to judge this lady for thinking she was going to judge me.
Well, it was like that though, cousin. You know, there was a lot of stigma around moko kanohi. It was associated more with gang members, especially in the 80s, early 90s, you know. So I think it was a given to, you know, expect to get negativity from people. But I think now that moko kanohi is more visual out there now, people are becoming more acceptable of it. Because, you know, you get the stares here and there. That was like a few years ago. Now
It's normal.
it's normal, and like so more people, like from many different backgrounds and cultural backgrounds, are telling us we look beautiful.
Yeah. I had this other fella at the Palms. He's looking at me funny from the food court, and I'm sitting there like, you know, starting to blood boil a little bit. And I'm like, ooh, okay. And then this lady comes up to me, which must have been his caregiver because he's in a wheelchair, obviously couldn't talk properly. And she comes up to me and goes, oh, my client over there just wants to say something to you. And I was like, oh, yeah. So I went over there and he's like, hey, you're like, I think your facial tattoos look amazing. And give me a big thumbs up. And what the worst thing is like a lot of the bad feedback you get is from Māori.
Real.
Never to your face.
Oh yeah.
Never to your face, but they'll you know, even you will see it on social media platforms these days a lot.
True that.
You know, people asking, wow, you know, and it's just sneaky comments like, do you deserve that?
Yeah.
Were you given that? Were you allowed that? It's like, what do you mean was I given it? Shut up, you know. But it's I mean it's everyone's own hikoi into what they want it to be. You know, I got one of my brothers. We actually got a pōwhiri this afternoon. His whole family's coming down from Ngāpuhi because he goes and gets his moko, his matora tomorrow morning.
Sure, cool. So you're 40 years old and you're a poa. Let's talk about your beautiful moko and what it's like being a poa.
Okay. So, I have an older daughter who is... We didn't have a great start. When I was younger, I was quite heavy on drugs, on certain drugs. I'm 5 years clean. Probably about 6 or 7 years clean now. But yeah, I was quite heavy, and at a young age, and I had a young child, and I wasn't really overly, you know, there. And she come into my life at a later age, and she's an amazing girl. She goes through her own stuff, but that's, you know, it's the day and age. And she moved in with me when she was, I think she was 16 or 17. She moved out of her mother's house.
How old is she now?
21. she said, "Oh, I want you to get a house, Dad. I don't want to live with Mum no more. Try find one for sleep out." So I was like, "Oh, cool, okay then." So went house hunting, found one in Hoon Hay, of all places.
Hoon Hay.
Hey.
Gosh, I didn't know you lived in Hoon.
Yeah. Well,
What you doing on that side, cousin?
no, I know, right? Jesus. Yeah, found one in Hoon Hay. Nice house, up a lane, park across the road, got to sleep out, so it was cool. She moved in with me, sweet ass, her and her partner. They're just little, they're young, you know, they do what they do. They've got their own things going on in life.
Yeah.
I had always said to her, if you could not get pregnant till after you're 18, I'll shout you a trip to Thailand.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take you to Thailand,
Sure.
all expenses paid.
Sure.
She's like, man, yeah, I've got you. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
And then 17, she just messaged me one day. She's like, Dad, I'm pregnant. I'm so sorry. I was like, oh, damn. I'm a young ass kuro. Koko. He calls me Koko.
Cool. Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to something like it was hard making a decision on what I wanted him to call me and what to drill into his head.
Yeah.
Because power for me is my power.
Yeah.
And I would have been alright with that, but I was just like, I was still a bit in my trauma about missing them, and so I was like, and Kuro is old.
Yeah.
And I'm not old. And Koko to me was kind of cool. It was easy for him to say. So yeah, this is Koko.
Cool.
He's a bright little, he's handsome young fella.
Of course.
He's just full of life. Little Hori who hates wearing shoes and socks.
Were you there when he was born?
She went into labour at like 1 in the morning, and I got a phone call at, I think it was 3. So I had a quick shower and went up there, and he'd already come.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I got there and he was already there.
And what was it like when you first saw him, cousin?
Oh, it was different, man. Poor Kiddo for her, like,
Yeah.
so like, oh my God, babe.
Yeah.
You've done so well and so fast, like 4 hours. And I was just so proud of her.
Yeah.
And then seeing this beautiful little baby, I was just like, oh my God. Oh my God, like,
It's my Moko.
Jesus Christ, this is crazy. And like, I was real scared to hold him because he's like, you know what babies like. They're so flimsy and stuff. I was like, oh no, I don't know. I think like after maybe 2 weeks, he's like staying at my house. Yeah. She had her own house by then, but she's 19-year-old. Like, she ain't wanted to, or 18-year-old. She's like, Dad, babysit, Dad, babysit. And I was like, yeah, hard out.
Yeah.
Whenever he wants to, he's over my house. Like he stayed with me last night, not last night, the night before, and I took him to Kohanga, and he just waddles on off to Kohanga with bare feet, stubbed up toes, blood leaking everywhere. He's just such a little Hori, but he loves it.
Are you kind of like your power with your Moko?
So much of my family say they see power in me the way I am, just like he's just, but then a lot of people like don't even know, like especially a lot of people that don't know me. A lot of people that know me know he's mine, but a lot of people that know me, but they're like, oh, I didn't know you had a son. I was like, I don't. This is my grandbaby. And they're like, oh, far out, you're young. I'm like, yeah. Young baby. I play like quite a high level netball, and he just comes with me and sits on his iPad and yells out to me from the court, Koko! I'm like, yeah. What are you doing? Then,
Those ones.
yeah. Just
That's cool.
Just because he wants to talk.
Yeah.
So he but yeah, it's changed my totally changed my outlook on life.
So you're quite happy to just like settle down
Just chill.
with your Moko?
Chill. Comes to Haka and just goes and be a menace, He's
Yeah.
all of those little tanas running around.
Yeah. So your Haka journey.
Yeah.
When did that start?
I only ever done school Hakas.
Yeah.
And then I didn't really do much Haka. I always went to Hakas with Mum, she with Pounamu, TK, all those always went there, so I was a haka baby.
Yeah.
But I'd never really done haka myself. And then one year, me and cousin Raywin, Anna caught us off guard. You two should come stand, and we're, yeah, front row, not a problem. You know, arrogant. She's like, well, I'll pick you up tomorrow. We're like, yeah, easy, pick us up. She turns up. She turns up 8 a.m, pick us up.
Sure.
Takes us to a noho.
Yeah.
So I had 8 weeks to learn that bracket.
Was that for regionals or Nats?
Nats,
2015 Christchurch.
2017.
Where was that one?
Napier,
Oh yeah.
Kohinoku, I think it was.
Oh yes. So that was your first stand ever.
That was my first stand for, definitely from Matatini.
Dang.
Yeah, and then I done 2 regionals after that as well.
Yeah. What was that like for you? Standing at Matatini in front of all these people.
I was nervous, and I just like hate the stigma of the South Island being hot dog teams. My ropu now, when they said, what's one of your big goals with Matatini this year, I was like, just to stop this chat about Waitaha being hot dog teams.
Kia ora.
It's ugly kōrero at the start, you know. I mean, but that is what it is. I mean, because back in the days, we were in hot dog scene, we were winning. When Whaitahi was on form, like back in those days, and back in even before that, in the Polynesian Festival, I'm pretty sure Uncle Hori won a couple. You know, they can't say hot dog teams about them.
Do you think there's something we're not doing down here, Kapa Haka wise, or something that we should do more, or we all good where we're at?
I think we're heading to a better direction. It's hard because I'm not a tutor, and I'm not trying to whakaiti any of the tutors either, because they all got their own kaupapas. They got their own thing.
What about collaborations between tutors or something?
I've thought that, but then, the problem with that is, we collaborate, we make, say, 3 amazing teams. Yeah. Only one of them is still going to go through to Matatini anyway, because we have to do the whole thing. So to get more and to keep it flowing and keep people coming to all these different ropu, we probably need to have these separated ropus. As much as like if we made a power team, full of all the number ones. I'm not saying I am one, but I'm definitely centre second row. It would be cool to have a powerhouse team of all the South Island like best. It's just doesn't make sense for the long run of trying to bring up our ropus and our young ones, because we've got to have places for them to go.
Yeah, I know. So, mahi wise, you were in the concreting industry for years, and then you made this change in your career to start working in the mental health sector. Talk me through like you leaving the concrete industry into what roles you jumped into and why the change.
All right, so I did concrete for 22 years, and then it just got to the point in life where I was like, this isn't fun. Getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning isn't fun no more. I wanna, you know what I mean? Some days we'd do 16, 18-hour days. And it's just like, this ain't fun no more. I'm old, I've got a grandson. I just want to wake up, look at him, get him up, get him dressed, take him to koanga. Like, this was I wanted just differences. Get him dressed, take him to koanga. Like, this was I wanted just differences. So I decided one day, I was like, I'm done. I'm done with concrete. I'm pretty sure my bosses would have been done with me as well, because I got to the stage where I was just ringing up sick every other day because I couldn't be bothered. The mental health and hauora sort of area, they scream for male Māori, tāne Māori that are keen to make a difference. So I found a job at Te Whare Hauora, Māori Women's Refuge, which was cool. When we done our interview, I went in there and they're like, oh, Terangiparutini Tipa, and I'm like, yeah, and they're like, Betty and Maria's, and I was like, Betty's, and they're like, oh, cool, we done hug over now. Straight away I was like, I've probably got this job.
Yeah.
They're like, so how's mum, and I was like, is this how interviews go these days? How's mum, and what's she up to, and rah. So yeah, I worked there for a year,
Yeah.
It was around COVID, so this was in the COVID connecting space. It was for any whānau that had been hit quite severely by COVID.
Okay.
We were making them COVID packs, we were helping them pay rent, helping them pay power bills, getting them kai.
Okay, cool.
I really enjoyed it. But the thing is, once the COVID sort of died down, that mahi started died down, and obviously being being a male in a woman's refuge, a lot of those females trigger off a male.
Yeah.
So like I couldn't really go out and do as much as I wanted to do in that sector because
Yeah.
I was a male and they, were somewhat triggered. So my supervisor at the time, my auntie Peewee, she just got a contract from Pūtaitanga looking for connectors, which was what I was doing. I was a COVID connector, but with her it was just a connector role,
Cool.
which was a little bit less hours
Oh, yeah.
and just which suited me fine because it just means more time with my moko. Probably one of the best changes I could have made.
Yeah?
Yeah, I really enjoy it.
Why is that? Why is the best change?
I've learned so much.
Yeah.
So much, like, the brother Merv
Yeah.
and Auntie P were there just so on when it comes to that space. I've just learned so much. It's crazy.
Yeah. Because what's the name of the kaupapa?
Tūpono Mana Tangata. We're on 57 Hampshire Street, so it's right in the heart of it.
Yeah.
We get walk-ins. We deal in domestic violence, sexual harm, oranga tamariki. That's probably my biggest part where I work, which I never would have thought I ended up working in,
Yeah.
but that's where I work in,
Oh, yeah.
sort of quite heavily with the oranga tamariki space. We run classes. We've got a men's group on Monday with Tāne Te Waira. We've got a rangatahi group on a Wednesday night. We do a Tuesday class kōwaio, and that's just dealing with your inner trauma and childhood trauma, inner trauma, and just anything trauma that you got going on. Auntie Peewee runs that. She rocks you. She gives you some heavy truth. Yeah. Then we've got Merv takes a tikanga class on a Wednesday, which is quite cool. Does anything around our beliefs in tikanga.
Yeah.
Not tikanga itself,
Yeah.
but the tikangas we got and the kauas we got taught as kids from our elders. We pass that on, keep those flowing, and then one of our other kaimahi, Jamie, he runs an anger management class with a little Māori twist on it, so it's not like quite sit in a circle and, hi, I'm Jamie and I need anger management.
Yeah.
So that's Tūpono. We're open 9:30 till 2:30, and we're just here to save lives one day at a time.
What would you say to someone with a similar background who wants to get into the mahi that you're doing?
Well, I actually had the conversation today with my bro, who done concrete. He's done concrete for longer than me, and he said to me, "Bro, I've decided I'm giving it up." I said, "Oh, what you gonna do, bro?" He's like, "I wanna, I wanna go into the holder space." I said, "That's amazing." And like some of our biggest mates have weaseled their way, and these fellas have records longer than this table, and they've somehow gotten their way, stepped their toes into this holder space, and they are shining.
Yeah.
The cuzzies, they are shining at it.
Yes.
So like anyone can do it. It doesn't matter. It's just you just gotta want it. You gotta want it the most. You know what I mean?
Do you think you need like qualifications or lived experience? What do you think's best?
So I mean, qualifications help, but I have no qualifications.
Yeah.
I did 22 years in concrete, so I have not one qualification in mental health, but I've had a very colourful upbringing.
Yeah.
And I've had to deal with all kinds of ups and downs. I tend to be able to, and the truthfulness to a lot of our whaora, it seems to get them where they open up just from you just being real with them.
Yeah.
Not sugarcoating nothing, just giving them some realness. You got to sort it out.
Yeah.
You're making wrong choices.
Yeah.
You know this. Oh yeah, I do. Well, yeah. What do you do when you know this?
Yeah.
Stop it. I know it's hard, and you think it's hard. It's just you just got to be a bit real with them. It doesn't always work the first time, second time. Sometimes you can actually sound like a broken record. But you get those one or two that when it finally actually works, and it's like, whoa, cool.
So how do you build rapport with whānau who are just coming in, looking for awhi? You don't quite know them. How do you build that relationship up?
Well, a lot of the whānau that we deal with are in such high level needs of it that they're just willing to trust you just purely because they don't have no one else to trust. Right. Sitting down and telling them a bit of my story, and they once you can see it in them when they relate to something.
Yeah.
And you can be like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, cool. He knows about that.
Like, I've got one. I've got one photo that it was, and I told her about my hiko into my past of getting clean, and she was just like, boom, oh yeah. And that was where I got her, and she's still my client now, and we've got some good shits happening for her, which is amazing.
There's a huge need for support for our whānau out there, eh?
It's massive, especially in Aranui.
Yeah.
Like, we know, 20 years ago when I was a kid, Aranui had nothing like what we've got. It had a pub on the corner, it had an arcade on the other corner, it had 2 dairies and 2 fish and chip shops, and a chemist that always got robbed. But now we've got, where the pub used to be, we've got Actus.
Yeah. What's Actus?
Now just another hauora place, where you can just, when you need support, you go in there. Then you've got us Tupono, in the old chemist. Where the old arcade used to be, there's like a church. They do the same thing. Then you've got around the corner, you've got Sally's. So there's a lot more like support in Aranui these days. Right in the hood, man. Like, it was never thought of back in our days. You just, back in my days when I was walking around those streets being a little... Was
it something that was needed back in those days?
It would have helped.
Yeah.
But then it's also, you sit there and think about it, you're like, would it have been accepted? Like, how it is now. The world's changed a lot.
Yeah. And how's the community reacted to these services being right in the hood now?
They love it.
Yeah.
We get a lot of drop-ins. We got a couple of roriroris, matuas that come past and stir the pot a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like we always get dropping in. We got a few of the matuas that walk in, and they are old friends of Auntie Pee-wee's from back in her day. Like, where's Pee-wee? Hey, my sis.
True.
And she's like, oh hey bro, how are you? Oh, good to see you. always welcome open arms. Always welcome them with open arms. But it's a buzz. It's cool. I really enjoy working in that area of mahi. We're coming up to end of our contract. I think is in September next year. Oh yeah. And the government have sort of trying to are putting spanners in the works to try and make things a little bit harder for our Māori services. So we're just gonna have to see where things go. I mean, we're never gonna stop with the awhi. Yeah. It's just we might have to find different ways to get there.
Speaking of services, your mama started up her own service, and runs it?
Yeah. So mum's always sort of been wanting to work with the dead. Really? Yeah.
Wow.
Our little parani here is going into training to be Mbama.
Real?
Yeah. 18 years old, and her dreams to be work with the dead as well. So
wow.
She went and worked with mum for a 2-week
work experience kind of
experience and loved it. So mum's probably one of the only Māori funeral directors in Christchurch. Yeah. She deals with anyone who wants it. It doesn't, you don't have to be Māori, it's anyone. Okay, cool. She owns the business. Yeah. You go to Lemon Haywood, you might get charged 13. She's charging 6. Like, she's cutting 5K off the prices. She can, but she also she's just all around she's a matriarch in that aisle. Like, she, we had a tangi. She had a tangi that she had to deal with, and it happened on the weekend. She managed to get wins to fork out money for this, that, and everything. So, they ended up only even pay like 1,400 of the bill, and the rest was paid through people that mum had got the
beautiful
Manaaki funeral services.
Yeah, because we definitely need more Māori funeral services.
Funeral services, like all that kind of.
Yeah, because they understand tikanga, they understand the kawa.
And with mum, you get
We
the
wouldn't
old
have
man.
to teach them anything.
Yeah, like I said, with mum, you get the old man. So
Yeah.
he quite often will, like, if he needs to karakia, whakanoa, whatever, anything, or even if you need a kai kōrero for taking this body down. You know, as Māori, we don't leave our dead alone.
Yeah.
We've always got someone there.
Yeah.
Well, our Pākehā whānau, they do it a bit different. So they come in, they visit for the hour, then they go home. And the old man comes to pick up mum from work one day, and he's like, "Oh, what's going on, mum?" Blah, blah. She's like, "Oh, I'm just finishing off dressing this body." She's like, "Oh, yeah, where's the whānau?" "Oh, they've gone home." And he goes, "Oh, man." He just goes, walks in this room, my mum's dressing one body and just sits there. Like, you don't know this lady. You don't need to do this. But because of, because of his way of being brought up, we don't leave our tūpapaku alone.
Yeah.
So he sits there and mum's like, "Where is this old prick?"
Yeah.
Walks in and there he is. He's like, "Come on, time to go home now, Papa." He's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
So, it's just our kawas and our tikangas around it are different.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's thriving.
Cool.
And I'm super proud of my mum. It took her a long time to get to where, I think she's only been around for like maybe so it was before Nan passed away, so maybe the last 4 or 5 years she's been around doing her thing.
Cool.
But yeah, only Māori funeral service that's run and owned by a Māori in Christchurch. So.
If your Nan and Poa were still here, this is the last question now, what do you think they'd say about you today?
Aunties that know Nan and Paua, they always say to me, "Oh, your grandparents would be so proud of you." And so proud. I think if they were still here, it would be the little things like, I'd have to take Te Ariki over there every other day. Because my Nan would just want him. If I didn't take him there, she'd be trying to steal him. I think they'd be proud. They'd definitely be happy with the changes I've made in life. I'm hoping that she wouldn't have cheese grated my face off by now. But like we said, a lot's changed there. But I think she'd be, Nan would be happy. Paua was a very simple man. He was happy of me. They were proud of me regardless.
Yeah.
They knew I'd done some silly stuff. I think they turned a blind eye to most of it. Yeah. But they were proud of me. And regardless, they're still around. They're proud of me. They're proud of me. They know what I'm up to.
E te uri o Moeraki, nei rā ngā mihi mai hoa ki a koe, kia whai wā ki te kōrero kia hau. I tēnei rangi, thank you so much, cousin, for coming, sharing your journey, sharing your stories. We've had, deep convos before, but I still was able to learn a lot about you, especially your Nan and your Paua as well throughout this kōrero. So thanks for sharing, cousin.
Easy, my cuz. Easy, my
Love
cuz.
you.
Thank you. Love you.
And that's another episode of Tahu Talks whānau. Like always, keep your negative comments to yourself. We only want positive comments up in here. All right? See you, bye.